So this is fucking take 2 on this goddamn podcast, which you won't know because for you it's take 1. But I was 20 minutes into this podcast, and then my fucking laptop decided to shit the bed and just completely shut down. So, I don't even know what I'm gonna fucking talk about because I was 20 minutes in and just babbling about shit. Ugh. Fuck it, I cannot stand technology. It used to be cool. It used to be like, this is interesting shit. Now it's just shit. It's all inconvenient. You're fucking, you're always looking for Wi-Fi. Fucking Wi-Fi. Like, the other day, my, I don't know, some fucking jackass, I don't know, one of my fucking neighbors, I guess he's getting, or he's having issues with his fucking Wi-Fi signal, right? So, he calls up his cable company there, and, they knock on my door because, the pole, the fucking telephone pole or whatever the fuck that they need to climb to solve the fucking issue, it happens to be in my backyard. So, the cable guy, he knocks on my door and he's like, your neighbor, blah, blah, blah. He tells me the old song and dance and shit and asks like, can I have access to the fucking telephone pole? And I was like, all right, fine. Knock yourself out. So, he goes up there and he's fucking around with shit and, and I guess he solves the problem for the fucking neighbor. But then, I don't know, I go to jump on my fucking laptop, like an hour or two later. And I got no fucking signal, right? And I look at my, the router. Isn't a router isn't that like in a fucking woodshop class? Like you use the fucking router to like gouge the fucking, not really gouge, but you fucking, you use it to do some shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know anything about that stuff, but, I look at my fucking router and it's blinking red. So I'm like, all right, something's fucked up. Right. So, I try and, I try the usual fucking tricks and shit, reset it, fucking unplug it, all that fucking shit, trying to, get it back online, but it won't come back on. And it's like, okay, obviously that fucking jackass, he might have solved the problem for my neighbor, but he fucked my shit up, right? And, I was in the beginning stages of a full-on fucking shit fit, right? I was getting ready to call the fucking, the cable company and just give them the fucking, what's a good fucking, I don't know. I was gonna fucking bitch them out, right? And, but shut the fuck up, fax machine. It's like the electronics, they can fucking hear me. That's why they're fucking up. They're like, he's talking shit. You better start fucking interrupting his podcast. The one outlet he has of, where he can say fucking cunt and fuck and shit and complain about people openly. But yeah, I was on the verge of losing my shit and calling the company and being like, this is fucking bullshit. What the fuck did your guy do? And I had my phone in hand. And I was getting ready to dial the number, and then I don't know, I looked in the fucking mirror, because there's a mirror in my fucking bedroom. No, not what you fucking dirty-minded people are thinking. I use it, it's a fucking, like a full-length mirror, so I can make sure that I'm looking fresh and so clean before I go out and pick up my son from fucking middle school. But, anyway, so, I got the phone in hand, and I look up, and I see myself in the fucking mirror, and I see how angry I am over fucking Wi-Fi. And I realize, okay, this is fucking ridiculous. Because, I was born, right before we made the old fucking transition from fucking landlines and shit to internet and shit. So like I still remember what it was like to have to like the closest thing you got to like a fucking cell phone was a cordless fucking telephone, right? And I don't recall ever really getting upset about losing fucking signal or if a call got dropped, which which would happen every now and then. The fucking connection would shit the bed, and then you're just like, well, fuck, I guess I'll go out and play or fucking do something else. You didn't fucking call the company and bitching about, the fuck, you just sort of accepted it, like, all right, I guess shit happens. But now, fast forward to fucking yesterday, or not yesterday, was it yesterday? Did I say it was yesterday? I don't know. It's fucking either yesterday or the day before. I don't fucking remember. It's not really important. If your focus is when exactly did this whole situation transpire, then you got other things to be worried about. But fast forward to whenever the fuck this happened, and here I am fucking losing my shit because I can't get access to my fucking laptop for a few fucking minutes, and thank God I fucking saw myself in the fucking mirror before I made the fucking phone call, because the last time that I tried to reset it, because I tried it several times, and then I redid it, and then I decided that it's just gonna fuck up again, so let me call these motherfuckers. And I look in the mirror, I realize how ridiculous it is that I'm upset over a fucking Wi-Fi signal, and then my fucking router there starts working. So I don't know, it was just a fucking coincidence, I guess. That I don't know, for some reason my fucking signal gets lost, or I don't know, maybe when he did fuck around with whatever the wires up there, maybe it did cause something to happen, and all it took was a couple of times of resetting my shit, and I don't know, it fucking works. And I woke up today with a new fucking outlook on life, some pep in my step. I've realized that, some things are just not worth fucking, losing your shit over. And Wi-Fi is right up there with, getting upset because a store decides to use Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. I can't even believe people get upset about that shit. Like, do you have nothing better to stress about than fucking a phrase? Like you're like, there's so much shit going on in the world, and you're upset about, they didn't say Merry Christmas. Oh, who we fooling? And we were talking about fucking Southerners here. I don't know how to do a Southern accent. I might be the one person on the fucking planet that doesn't know how to do the fucking the Southern accent. Or I probably could do it, but I'm not gonna do it since I've spent so much time talking about how I can't do it. But to get upset about such trivial fucking shit, right? Like yesterday, apparently Walmart came under fire for I don't know, they had some fucking shirt that said like rope, comma, journalist, or not comma, rope, period, journalist, period, tree, period, and then underneath it said like some assembly required, implying that, you're getting ready to hang yourself, a fucking journalist there, right? And, it's pretty fucking horrific that Walmart or, would offer to sell that, because it's a very fucking slippery slope. You know where that's fucking headed, right? And people were losing their fucking mind. And, there was, people were like, I'm going to fucking boycott this, I'm going to boycott them now, like, this is where I draw the line. And it amuses me that, like, okay, so a fucking shirt. I mean, the shirt is horrific, and it's crazy that Walmart would even fucking sell some shit like that. And I have a feeling, we live in an era of time where it's just all about creating buzz. And I'm pretty sure that Walmart, considering they are, multi-billionaire, it's a multi-billionaire fucking corporation, or not billionaire, multi-billion-dollar corporation. I'm pretty sure they're smart enough to know, well, you know what will cause some controversy right as the Christmas season is kicking off, and work people up into a fuss. Of course, the liberals will, lose their shit, and then the conservatives will immediately run out and buy the shirt, because it's all it's about now is just doing the exact opposite of what liberals fucking complain about or want. So, I wouldn't put it past them, considering their practices just as a corporation, period. I wouldn't put it past them that this was all just a fucking plan in the first place, right? And of course, everybody fucking bought into it. But what drives me up the fucking wall, and you see this with other things too, but what drives me up the wall about this is that, like, people are upset about the shirt, but they're not upset about the fact that they are a multi-billion-dollar corporation that is basically subsidized by the government. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what the fuck does that mean? Well, think about it. They accept WIC, or food stamps, or whatever it is. They accept whatever it is, the people that are on welfare, whatever they're given or allotted for food and shit, right? They accept it, right? And a majority of their business are people that fall within that range, right? That are using WIC or SNAP or whatever the fuck it is. And so therefore I would say probably and I'm just pulling this out of my ass. It could be more, it could be less, but I'm going to have to go with maybe about 70 to 80% of their clientele are on some form of government assistance. And who do you think they go collecting the money from when they accept WIC and SNAP and all of that shit from the government, right? Which makes them basically subsidized by the government. So not only are they making billions of fucking dollars off of just customers, but they're also making money off of the government, right? And then they argue, and I'm sure that they're right on board with the fucking the tax cuts and shit. But so you're not upset about the fact that they are a multi-billion-dollar company that's fucking subsidized by the government. You're not upset at the fact that they are as anti-union as a fucking company could get. I mean, they even have in their their fucking employee training video, because that got released or leaked or whatever, where they spend way too much time talking about how the evil unions will, take all your money, or they only take or they take your money and it doesn't really benefit you, and which is a bunch of horse shit. All right, anybody at this point that's anti-union, I have to assume that you just don't understand how unions work, right? And why they're important to fucking to be in existence. Yes, you have to pay dues into a union, but you also, what those dues pay for is they give you basically collective bargaining rights when it's time to fucking, when you feel like, all right, we deserve a raise or some shit, you have more strength confronting a corporation with a union, which means, everybody that's involved in that union, versus showing up by yourself like, boss, can I have a fucking raise? And and the usual fucking outcome to that, unless you're just I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it takes anymore to fucking get ahead in the corporate world, but the likely outcome of you going into the office by yourself is either they tell you to get the fuck out of there. They kind of subtly fucking tell you that if you don't get back to work like a good worker bee, we'll just replace you with somebody that will accept less money, or we'll replace you with fucking robots, right? So anybody that's anti-union at this point is, I get it why the corporations are anti-union. It's in their best interest to be anti-union. But if you're just some regular fucking Mo and somebody that wears either the fucking red tie or the blue tie or whatever has convinced you that unions are bad and the right to work, that's another thing that people don't quite understand. The wording is fucking confusing, right? The right to work, it's designed to make it seem like, oh, you have a right to work, and not be fucking, beholden to unions. It's clever fucking, wordplay, but all it is anti-union, and it benefits no one but the corporation. So, if you are one of these people, I don't even know how I got onto this fucking topic, but, if you are one of these people that are anti-union, I would suggest that you actually do some research on exactly what unions do, and you not focus so much on the fact that you have to pay dues in order to have a collective group of fucking people fight for you, because it only makes sense that would be the case. If you get charged with a crime or whatever, and you go and you go to court, you have the fucking public defenders, but 9 times out of 10, if you get a public defender, I assume you're probably going to fucking jail. But if you want an actual lawyer that will fight for you, you have to fucking pay for it, right? So it's the same shit with unions. Why am I getting angry with you? I don't fucking know. But anyway, Walmart is anti fucking union. They pay their employees the bare fucking minimum. They work them to fucking death. They've been constantly taken to court for unpaid overtime, which means that, they're basically working people overtime, but fucking not paying them for it. I don't know how much more explanatory what I said was, or I don't really think you actually needed me to explain it. I'm pretty sure you got it, but, it is what it is. But, they've gone to court, not millions of times, but tons of times over that. They don't offer fucking their employees health benefits. It's a fucking shit show of a corporation. There are tons of reasons to fucking hate and boycott Walmart. But a fucking shirt, that's what you're upset about. None of the other shit that I just said, that you're not upset about that, but some thread that's been sewn together. That's where you draw the fucking line. And that's, that's what pisses me off, right? That you have people that they're just so clueless about, anything that's going on, and they react to this irrelevant shit. I don't know. I've been fucking talking for almost 20 minutes, and I don't even really know what the point of that fucking story was. Is there a sign language equivalent of fucking sarcasm or when you're angry? Because the other day I was on my way to fucking school, and I don't know, there was some fucking deaf people, or at least I assume they were deaf. Maybe they were just throwing up gang signs. I don't know. But, they were fucking talking to one another, they're flitting, fingers are fucking moving and shit. And it's how do you know if somebody that's deaf how do you know if they're angry? Besides the fact that, the look on their fucking face, obviously that's a huge sign. But, let's assume that they're the one person on the fucking planet that is incapable of fucking making proper facial expressions. How do you tell? Like, do you fucking sign faster? Is it more dramatic and shit? And can you tell that I'm acting it out like you guys can fucking see it? I don't know. Those are the types of thoughts that I have. Other people are thinking about, world peace and, how to fucking feed the starving children of wherever. But I'm sitting around trying to figure out if there is a way to tell if a deaf person is angry via their fucking sign language. I guess they could just, flip you off, right? Give you the fucking finger and be like, there you go. But, I don't know. Or, okay, maybe anger is easy, but what about sarcasm? Can deaf people be sarcastic to one another? And I'm not talking about the ones that, like the fucking actress lady, she, I've seen her, in fucking, shows and shit where she's being sarcastic, but because she can fucking talk. Not saying that other deaf people can't talk, but, usually they don't, right? You can kind of tell that she's being fucking sarcastic, even though she's, signing. But, let's take, two regular fucking people that do not talk. And I don't know why, if a deaf person was conversing with another deaf person, why they would also talk, because it seems kind of, pointless there. But, let's assume that they're not fucking talking, right? How does one person that's deaf understand that this other person is being sarcastic? Does sarcasm exist in sign language? And yes, I realize the irony of asking people that are listening if there is fucking sarcasm in sign language, but hey, it's maybe somebody out there can hear, but also knows fucking sign language. I'm not gonna fucking assume that my listening audience isn't fucking multilingual. Is sign language, if you know sign language, does that qualify as being multilingual? It is a fucking different language, right? You don't see too many deaf people anymore. You see a lot of those fucking videos where it's like, oh, somebody fucking hears some shit for the first time, which is awesome, But yesterday or whenever it was, I was fucking driving to class, which was probably on Wednesday, not fucking yesterday. But, I just realized, that's the first time I've seen people using sign language in fucking years. Can you guys tell I don't really have shit to fucking say? That, the fact that I had to redo this goddamn podcast, it's really fucking with me, because that, those 20 minutes that I had fucking nailed down. Of course you're not going to know this, but I'd like to think that I was fucking crushing it. It'd be like if a fucking, like a stand-up comedian went on stage and crushed for 20 minutes, and then it turns out that nobody could hear what he's fucking saying. Or she. I don't want anybody to be like, well, why can't the female? Why is the fucking made up person in your scenario male? Why must they have a penis? Women are funny too, are they? I don't know. That's a fucking that's the $1 million question right there. Other than Ellen DeGeneres, and really she hasn't been funny since she's decided to step off stage. Although I hear she's doing another fucking special on Netflix, but I don't know. I think her reputation is in at least as being a comedian is in the fucking toilet at this point. But who knows? I'll still watch it. Maybe she's still funny. I don't know. But the problem with and this, I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I fucking can break down the do's and the don'ts of comedy, but what I have noticed is that when a comedian has like made it, like really made it, has been in movies and has fucking, sitcoms and shit like that, and then they try and return to the stage, usually, they just don't have it anymore, or I mean, they might have some fucking, or they might get some laughs, but a lot of them are just, like sort of, I don't want to say pity laughs, but it's kind of like, oh, you're famous, and I can't believe I'm fucking, watching you or listening to you or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about over here, but it's just like, has anybody seen like the Chris Tucker, his latest fucking stand-up special? It just, I don't know, like, it wasn't funny. I barely, I watched it, there's a couple of parts where it's like, you get like a chuckle, but it wasn't, it wasn't even anywhere close to when he was, during like the fucking Def Jam period of fucking comedy. It wasn't there. Same thing with fucking Dave Chappelle. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me here, but compared to like Killing Him Softly or whatever the other fucking one was, his latest, the last two specials he made, they weren't even close to being as funny. So I don't know. I think I'm on to something here that, once you get a little too famous, you're no longer funny anymore, or you're not as funny. Like fucking Bill Maher, although I cannot stand that fucking asshat now. And I used to be a huge Bill Maher fan until fucking 2016, and he revealed that he's just another fucking corporatist cocksucker. And yeah, that might be jading my ability to find him funny now, but he hasn't really been that funny to me for a few years. And I have to assume that it's because, I don't know, the fucking show, the fucking success. I don't know. I mean, obviously there are some comedians out there, like Kevin Hart or whatever, that, that they can fucking make the movies and shit and still, crush on stage. But, it's far and few in between. That when comedians can have that level of celebrity and still come back and kill it, So I don't know why am I fucking talking about this? What I don't get about fucking meth heads? Why are they not, like, why are they all fucking skinny and their teeth are all fucked up? I mean, I get it. I get like the tooth thing, right? Because I mean, if you smoke cigarettes, you fucking eventually your teeth are gonna rot out of your fucking head. But I can only imagine what the chemicals and shit that are in meth or even crack. Do people still smoke crack? I can only imagine what that does to your dental health. But what I don't understand about meth heads and crackheads, I mean, I assume people still smoke crack, because it's considered illegal, right? Which I think is ridiculous. I mean, not fucking doing meth specifically or crack specifically is illegal. Just the fact that drug use, period, seems to be illegal. Or it doesn't seem to. It is. I think it's fucking ridiculous. You're not harming anybody but your fucking self. So, I don't get how it's illegal. Now, if I mean, you have the cases where the fucking drug fiend will I don't know, rob a store or some shit. I mean, if you're committing like actual crimes, to feed your habit. Like, I don't think that the habit is the thing that you should be focused on. It's just the fact that you committed a fucking crime. Yes, there's a reason behind it, but, you know, being on fucking crack or heroin or whatever the fuck is not an excuse to, you know, rob an old lady or some shit, right? You know, I mean, you only want to rob the old people and, you know, I don't know. Is there a good reason to rob an old person? Don't you hate the fact that there's some people in society that people are like, oh, you can't fucking yell at them. You can't, you know, I don't know. Am I fucking trying to condone committing crimes against the elderly? No, I'm not. But where was I going with this shit? Like, I don't understand, like, why are there no fucking fat meth heads? I mean, I get it when you know, there's probably some that just started down their fucking meth adventure that, you know, probably, you know, still have the weight and, you know, their teeth are still fucking decent. I get that. But I'm talking about, like, why is there no, like, long-term fucking meth heads that are fat? I mean, I don't understand, you know, like, I don't know what the drug does. Apparently, it makes you not want to fucking eat, I assume. But considering you're trying to avoid detection from, you know, from law enforcement, wouldn't the smart thing be to eat and, you know, fucking brush your teeth and, you know, not look like a fucking meth head? I mean, wouldn't that be like the better fucking choice? Because, you know, you can always spot a fucking crackhead or a meth head. It's easy. Unless they just started. But if they've been at it, you know, like if they have a fucking, you know, they've been, you know, they've made a career of it, you can always spot them, you know. And I never understood it. I mean, I get it, you know, it fucks with your head and shit. But if your goal is to be able to smoke meth or, you know, smoke crack or fucking use heroin or whatever, like, wouldn't your fucking goal be to not look like, you know, to not fucking look the part? You know, if I was a fucking meth head, you know, I'd do it the fucking right way. You know, I'd make sure that my clothes are fucking clean. I'd make sure that I maintained my fucking weight. I'd take extra fucking care of my teeth because, you know, it's really all about image, right? You know, nobody wants to look like a fucking meth head. Oh God, what the fuck am I talking about? Fat meth heads. I don't know. I think I'm going to end it here. I'm not even sure if I'm going to upload this because I feel like this podcast has been shit. But you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. If I don't, then I've really just sat here talking for fucking half an hour to myself, you know, and I'm still doing it. So most likely I'll upload it, you know. Anyway, for you know, if there are new listeners, welcome. You know, usually I do these podcasts Tuesdays and Thursdays and occasional Friday. This week I only did it on Tuesday and today on Friday because you know, it's getting close to the end of the semester and I got shit going on. So you know, I couldn't fucking do it yesterday. But I don't know. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here, you know, fucking thanks for you know, hanging with me. But anyway, fucking it's Friday, so you know, the weekend is fucking here. So you know, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you had a good week. And you know, I'll fucking we'll do this shit again next week, all right? All right. Just like always, don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.